Yo, first of all, we would like to wish you a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. I celebrate Christmas, but not religiously. I celebrate it as an American holiday, but I'm not Christian,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I do
it's
the
that
whole.
thing.
Oh, I should put headphones on. So
It's okay, you're not echoing. I'm not echoing through you. It's fine. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever the fuck you celebrate. I would say Happy Hanukkah, but I'm pretty sure that's already gone. Um,
Hanukkah
and
and Diwali have both passed.
Unfortunately, we were off the past few weeks, so we couldn't have a Hanukkah or Diwali episode. But we would have
Yes.
if we were here. Um, I'd also like to wish you happy Star Wars, and that's going to be the topic of our show today. So, did you see the new Star Wars movie?
No.
That's our show.
All right, see you. No, we're back. Okay. So we've got a lot to talk about, honestly, don't
Oh,
we?
we do? I was prepared to leave. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet today.
I'm making my list of people that I need to send Christmas cards to.
Uh-huh. You going to check it twice?
I have Mom, some friends from home, Bart, Dry Bear, Adam and Dan. They only get one because they're a couple.
Yeah.
Scott Gandhi,
Uh-huh.
Rosario Velarde,
Yep.
Adonis, and Pecky's.
Nice.
Pecky's gets two because he's my favorite.
I like how Jeff is the only player that you put on that list.
Well, I originally had Reels on there as well. But
See, that's what I was
fuck
just gonna say. I was
international.
like, why are you gonna send reels? But yeah, fuck international. It's like,
Fuck
oh,
international.
you wanna send a letter? $81.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's,
Because they swim it across.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So we've got what's going on? We've got Worlds. So yeah, we
Yeah,
were
Worlds.
absent for a while. You could still hear it. I'm still sick. Well, I'm not sick.
I
anymore.
like
I'm
it.
just
It
getting my voice
adds
back.
it adds a little bit of flavor to your voice. It's deeper and more intimate,
Yeah.
much like my V-neck.
God damn. Either way, it's something I'm working through. So we will. This will definitely be an hour, if that.
Yo.
I want to limit my voice.
Wait.
What?
Next week, are we doing a show next week? Yeah, we could probably do a show next week. Next week, we should do like an award show. The
An
Reelies.
award show.
Yeah, the Reelies. Like best whatever the fuck of the year.
Like, I don't want to do
Like
work.
most mentioned non-pro player.
I don't know what does that mean.
That would be
most-
Get Fisher. 'Cause, like
Get
we mentioned him every goddamn show for like
Yeah.
no reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most timed out in chat.
I don't know.
Most banned. Most time spent banned.
Shame's in chat. Shame plays for the or I don't know. Xbox teams blow up every other day. Shame played for Epsilon
Okay.
at Columbus, Ohio. And we had a lot of fun at a place called World of Beer.
Hell yeah.
It was actually really funny. So there's like a table full of players, right? Like 8 times 3. We're looking at like 20 plus players. Some random dude goes to the bar and gets a beer. All of a sudden, chug. We don't know this guy. We have no idea who this guy is. All the players
Nice.
just stare at him and start chanting chug. And he chugs his whole beer.
That's awesome, dude.
That's Smite players. That is,
Yeah, it is.
Smite players right
Yes.
there. Like straight up.
I think my favorite
Yeah.
moment was the other day. Our housemate that's not last brought I think his girlfriend over. I don't know. So if you care about relationship drama from my housemate who's not a Smite player, there you go. I might just have spoiled something. But anyway, we're like in the kitchen hanging out, and Lass is talking to her, and Lass does this thing where like the first time you meet someone, he just probably ends up chugging a beer because it's super impressive how fast he can do it.
Nice.
And like they tried to make Chris chug a beer, and he got like 10% in, and then just like couldn't, and he started laughing because of how fast Lass did it, and like everyone looks away, and this girl just empties it when no
I
one was
love
looking.
that.
It was awesome. Yeah,
That's so good.
yeah.
That's
I like her.
very
I
fun.
like her more than Chris, but only slightly. Chris is a good dude.
Word.
Yeah.
I imagine so. Does he play Smite?
No, that's what's best about him.
Not at all.
Yeah, Chris
He
and
didn't
Carol
like,
is like
hey, you guys are pro. Let me try.
I'd probably, and like he's played CS:GO once, but
That's
I don't
neat.
know. Yeah, he's just a dude. He works at IKEA. Cool guy.
I had a package to pick up.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway,
You know what pisses me off though? I
What?
commissioned a very special Christmas present for the house for Drew and everyone else. I don't think I'm gonna get it by Christmas.
Oh, what is
Yeah.
it? You commissioned? What is it? Art?
I mean, it's the sort of thing you commission. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, it's fucking art. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck else do you commission?
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, did I tell you?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Oh man, it's so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll get there at some point.
Word.
Yeah.
So
But you know what? You know what? I'm
nonsense.
gonna give everyone in chat more gift or more holiday ideas. So this is my favorite. Is for if you live with someone else in the house or like a family or whatever. For April Fool's Day, you get prints of this painting called Rooster Zebra Contemplates Grilled Cheese Sandwich, and you print them out
I
in
know
the
what
size
that
of every
is.
picture frame in your house, and you replace every picture with Rooster Zebra.
I don't think that's a good one.
It's really good, actually. Yeah. I mean, you could always do the Kool-Aid shower thing, but then you're a dick.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, you put Kool-Aid powder on the shower head, and then it showers red or blue or whatever Kool-Aid color.
So what's first? You want to do what do we miss? We
Star
missed-
Wars.
Fuck you. What do we miss? Teams blowing up. I guess we had like
Duh.
roster shit.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this the last time we did. Really, is that like,
Oh, did we? Good.
yeah, it's so. The closer your team gets to Worlds while not making it, the more likely they are to break up because it's more stressful, right?
Yeah.
It's harder. It hurts more. But also, most teams don't survive not going to World Championships.
Well, I mean, why don't you break us down? Because Eager was a team that looked real concrete.
yeah,
It's guys that have played together forever in Laz and Zap, and they created an LLC, and it just seemed so tangible. You guys
Sure.
lived together. It seemed so real.
and
What
that
happened?
just increases the pressure, man. That just makes the expectations greater, and then if you don't make it, it hurts more. And it also, like, it puts more pressure on, like, not everyone's going to get along perfectly all the time. That's just sort of life.
Of
It's
course.
the truth of friend groups and coworkers and whatever. And playing a game competitively is incredibly difficult. It's incredibly stressful. It makes those relationships a lot harder to do. So when we didn't make it, it was pretty much guaranteed that the team was gonna like blow up. Like the moment they didn't qualify, I knew that it was gonna happen. And like that's just
Yeah.
sort of how it is, I mean,
That's
shit
unfortunate.
happens. It sucks, but you move on, and I'm sure we'll see every player in the SPL next year.
Without a doubt. I mean, that's the thing. When it comes to all these teams breaking up, the players are all still mad good.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Like the players aren't going anywhere. So I mean, you envy that are going to be the same team, which is pretty sweet.
yeah, yeah.
Which is surprising.
I mean, you never know until they play their first game. You don't
Right.
know until the SPL starts. Like, regardless of what everyone says, until the SPL starts, it's not really confirmed. But
Of course.
yeah, Envy says they're going to stick together. It seems reasonable to believe them, or at least believe that that's their intention. They're not going to be like, haha, we secretly replaced Incon with Poor Bear Mike. Ah! Like, they're probably not
No.
planning on doing that.
If anybody gets replaced, it's Cyclone, I think, believe it or not.
Interesting. Interesting.
And like I 100% expect Envy to be the same team. But if they do switch things up, I think it's in the solo lane.
Yeah, I mean, well, Cyclone is also playing ADC on Xbox, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
that's a possibility. Allied playing mid. Because Cyclone on ADC makes a lot of sense. Like, he just wants to be a carry, not have to talk, and be alone. Whereas, like, a lot of the established Hunter players are players that have been playing for a really long time. We're the shot caller, we're the carry, and we're, like, the core of their team.
Right.
Like Zapman.
Yep.
And the modern Hunter role does not allow Zapman to be that. It just doesn't work. You're not you're too much of a League of Legends style carry as opposed to a Dota style carry, right? Like, there's too much
Exactly.
reliance on your team and not enough on her. Not enough, I'm going to shit on everyone because I've got CC immunity, a jump, massive damage, high ability damage, etc. And, like, crazy health
Word.
pool. But it doesn't really work anymore. They also don't have Sprint 3. I think that sort of playstyle, Sprint 3 was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. Sprint 3 is a little rough. It's gone. Dare to Care's happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was right. Like, Sprint 3 was crazy. Now, I think that, leads into a larger conversation of, like, balance and good game design are sort of different. Like, some things are supposed to be unbalanced. There was, whatever that YouTube series is with, like, the little guys on the podiums, it's all animated and some game designer that,
I
like,
know what
talks
you're
about
talking
stuff.
about, actually.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. But he talked about, like, the asymmetrical balance. Like, if things are perfectly balanced, it gets stale. So you don't want a game that's perfectly balanced. You want a game that
Of
has slightly
course.
opposites. Another example of this is Magic has the Jedi curve. They have the numbers to say this is how you make balanced cards, and then they put some cards above it and some cards below it.
Yep.
Like, intentional imbalance is kind of core in multiplayer game design. Is very important, but um, Sprint was a part of that, and I think
Yeah, it
it
was
was
just a
initially
little.
too high, and then removing it put hunters a little too low, and then I think that's when the Heartseeker came back, but I don't remember the timeline of those things.
Yeah, Heartseeker. I like Heartseeker. I
I
don't know. I like
liked
Heartseeker.
Heartseeker more, but it also caused. I mean, the problem with Heartseeker was Hunter's mid, right? The Heartseeker was fine when it was exclusively in the duo lane, but
Right.
then Neath mid fucked everything up.
Good old Neath. I like Neath. Neath has always been able to do that, though. Sit there in the mid. Heartseeker, not a
Yeah,
fun thing.
it just made it like it gave her too much. It put her power curve on the right, like
Too
the way it's
early.
supposed to be to match a mage. So she was
Yep.
able to be a mage, and like Neath mid is pretty much still a thing, but like not, not in the same level. Neath mid was actually something that we had prepared for super regionals a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Going in, I would have argued that the top mid picks were Isis, Neath, and Zeus. Super Regionals is over. I can talk about this shit now. That's great.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
Isis, Neath, Zeus, Giannis. I would put
Giannis
Giannis
is
at number
weird.
4.
Giannis is super strong. He's undeniably super strong, but the others have so much stronger like clear presence and like mid camp presence that it makes you. In order to make Giannis work, you have to like be a douchebag with it.
Yeah, of course. Giannis doesn't play like other.
Yeah, he's abstract.
Exactly. He doesn't fit in the whole nonsense. But I mean, Super Regionals was
About a month
intense.
ago.
Enemy 1, we talked a lot about that.
Yep.
What do you know about the international teams, Coach Krett? Because you're still coaching, aren't you?
No.
You're not coaching.
I'm chilling.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
I haven't really figured out what I'm doing next year. Just sort of chilling. I mean, I think I'm still a coach, right? Like it's like Lasses is still a player, therefore I'm still a coach. But like
Yeah, of course.
actively, you know, international teams though are. It's always hard to tell because you can look at them within their region, but it really doesn't tell you how good they are. Like the best metric for international teams is watching their first games on LAN, and if you can somehow like get any information on their scrims.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
Yeah.
like relying on getting informations on other people's scrims is like probably not going to happen. But people are stupid. People leak strats. Like it just you live with it.
That's always the worst. That
It
is
sucks,
always the worst.
but like it's a thing, you know.
I hate that that's a thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, I hate this hat. It's too hot. But I hate that that's a thing. I mean, we saw some of that. We saw some nonsense. They were players.
There was
And
a
it's
picture
funny.
taken of like a post game lobby.
Yeah, and like that, I'm so torn on that
Yeah.
because on the one hand, if you leave your shit up,
Oh yeah, it's like it's
fuck
totally
you.
your bad.
Like, and like that's you know me. I appreciate like young enterprise. Like, I like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of creative use of game mechanic. I don't know what you would replace game mechanics with, but
Yeah,
right, it's in that.
exactly.
It's like it's there. You can remember it. Like it's
Yep.
they're fucking bad. But then like showing it to people is the problem.
Yeah, that's the thumbs down. That's
Yeah.
you know, you want to take that picture and share it with your team.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think that's
You share it with the team that they were going up against. It's kind of shitty.
Yeah,
It's not like hammered down like horrible person. It's just like it's kind of shitty.
Yep. I'll definitely agree. And that's that created some problems. But we're taking a look at the international teams. Honestly, NA and EU is still the strongest region
Yeah.
overall. But I think it's a lot closer this year.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it, and it's also really hard to tell. So, like, I know the most about the Latin American scene, and Asturias was a team that dominated the region. I believe they went undefeated, like they were really strong, but it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to look at how they stand up internationally, much like it is still really hard to see how Epsilon stands up internationally.
Right.
There's no denying that Epsilon is a good team because the teams they're beating are also good teams, but like it's sort of hard to say how good Isurus will be. They could really perform well, or they could have a lot of trouble. And a team that is performing in such a one-sided way, you just almost makes them harder to judge. Because what happens when they're put behind? What happens when whatever they're using to get ahead in the first 10 minutes doesn't work?
I mean, they lost to Paradigm, didn't they?
Who?
Epsilon.
No. Yes, they did.
What are you talking?
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah, they totally did. Yeah.
Paradigm are your European champions.
But I mean,
they lost to Paradigm.
Right. No, I wasn't making any arguments about Paradigm, but like, I just think that like, because it's also hard to tell how Paradigm stands up internationally. Paradigm's certainly a good team, but I think they take advantage of momentum more than other teams. They were riding highs all the way through that tournament from the moment they beat Dignitas, and like, they're also just really fucking hard to draft against. And going into Super Regionals, Paradigm was the team we were most afraid of in the third place position, because what the fuck did they? What are their drafts? They're like, yeah, we picked Bastet, Najah, Osiris, Isis, and Sun Wukong. And we won picks. Like, we did it, boys. And like, I'm not knocking that. Like, they did. They got the draft they wanted. So yeah, they won picks and they denied their opponents or whatever. But like, what the fuck do you do about that? They just play so differently.
Yeah, I don't know. They do things differently. And because of that, I don't know if it's because of that, but they're definitely the Euro champs.
Sure.
I think that has something to do with it.
I think it's that. I think it's momentum. And I also think that Paradigm got their hands on what was strong at the LAN in like the final form, the final day meta. They got that slightly faster than Paradigm. Like, yes, one game faster.
I will agree with that. One thing that kind of does suck, as we talk about these international teams, you're right. It's very hard to compare teams from different regions.
Yeah.
But Epsilon going up against Isurus is rough.
Yeah, because, right, it's the undefeated team against the other undefeated team. I mean, you know, Super Regionals, whatever, but
yeah,
season undefeated. And they're going up, but one region is just weighted higher.
Exactly.
So, the
competition in Europe is theoretically and in practice better than the competition that Isurus went up against. So even if Isurus is this strong team, you know, the hurdles they've had to leap are shorter than the other ones. So
yeah,
I don't know. On the other hand, you take a look at Avant-Garde coming out of Australia, who looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They're going up against Enemy, who
they could win.
Enemy, that. Yeah, Enemy could sort of caught lightning in a bottle, and I definitely think that they're strong. I definitely, you know, took a step back and stopped shitting on them. I think Enemy's a real team, but, you know, I think that they are beatable.
I mean,
so
can we still shit on BCM a little? a little bit.
Actually, he now wants to be called Vedium because
He's Venium now? God fucking damn it, that kid. I'm going to go to Canada, and I'm going to throw him all the way to Nova Scotia.
I'm like almost ready to say no.
Dude, do it.
No, your name is
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we've called him that for the whole season at his request. And then he comes to me and he goes, hey, I found out that the word is made up and it's pronounced Vedium. I'm like, dude, it's a name.
Yeah, it could be whatever.
You can pronounce it however you want.
Yeah.
Do you know how to spell APC's last name?
AP Sizzle?
It doesn't look like Mir Jaworski. Like,
I thought his last name was AP Sizzle.
So, oh no. Vicium is going to be Vicium.
Shoutouts to APC for having the most Connecticut last name.
Oh my goodness. APC, actually. Shout out to APC. He decided 2 days ago, the day before yesterday, that he was going to go to Denver yesterday.
Yeah? What's he doing in Denver?
Snowboarding.
Oh, that sounds fucking dope, dude.
Yeah.
Is he bringing Dan?
Yes, of course.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Of course.
Fun story. Adam got hired by Hi-Rez.
Yeah.
5 days after he moved to Denver from Connecticut.
Yes. Yes, I heard about that.
So Adam, APC lived in Connecticut, was working at a restaurant, blah, 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 said, fuck it, I'm moving to Denver, gonna do something different. Moves cross country, settles into a new house, moves complete, and then Hi-Rez goes, do you want a job in Atlanta? And he does it all over again.
Dude, that kind of sucks, but I mean, hey, it worked out for him, right? Now he's got his own office full of creepy cocks.
Yep. Him and Dan share the cock office. It's a fun.
Iris is a great
time.
place. It's a magical place.
It's interesting.
It's exactly what you would expect.
Yes, it is in so many different ways. More work goes on, I think, than people expect.
True. Yes.
But the setting in which the work happens is exactly what you'd expect.
Exactly. Yep.
You can ask a lot of the players that have come to Lands what my office looks like or Dan's office.
Your office is not that interesting.
I mean, I share it with Bart.
Yeah, Bart's desk is hilarious because it's exactly what you'd expect Bart's desk to look like.
It's just hats and sunglasses.
Yeah.
Dude. It's hats, sunglasses, and Dota paraphernalia.
It's so good.
It's like Bart in a nutshell.
Yep.
So, Worlds is happening. We talked a little bit about the early rounds. Later rounds is can't really touch upon that. Xbox stuff. You watching the Xbox stuff?
There's Xbox stuff.
Xbox actually got good.
Really? Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising.
Like, I'm the first one to tell all of these Xbox pros that everyone sucked 6 months ago.
Sure.
Everyone was
especially
so bad.
Eric Cougar.
When we heard that we had to, like, cast Xbox events.
Yeah, it was the Darth Vader right?
Yeah.
I can't do it. No one can do that.
I don't have a voice for
exactly. Like, it's just never tried. You just say it and everyone knows.
But so we did UMG in Atlanta, and like, hey, teams really stepped up. Well, shit, and like teams started looking pretty good, and then we went to Columbus, Ohio for the MLG event, and I mean, bear in mind, remember how everybody was all upset about denial coming from PC to Xbox?
Yeah,
they got shit on.
That's right.
They didn't lose.
That's awesome.
They got murdered by Eager.
And they got murdered while one of their players was wearing a bowler hat.
I'm pretty sure Dr. Elo took that off for the last game.
Yeah. He got serious.
I do want to give Dr. Elo credit, though. Fucking the whole team sitting there, just like quiet. No momentum at all. Dr. Elo's the only one screaming. He's playing shock.
Yeah.
He's screaming every time he clears a wave. He's like, yeah, 6 minions killed. Fuck you. And I'm like, dude,
that's how you play Xbox, dude.
Like,
yeah,
it was so funny.
You play PC very quietly, just
pretty much
until a team fight happens, and then you kill someone, and then you scream. Xbox,
Xbox, you're just screaming the whole time. So it was, and honestly, like, and one of the people that work in production and casting is a curmudgeon. I think
Yeah.
that teams are just bad, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
After MLG Columbus, guy turned around and said, damn, that was good Smite. That was exciting. We had fun. Xbox Smite is a different story. The people
Yo,
that's what?
Denial's the only team to lose to 2 different Eagers.
Oh,
Wait, Shing's
boy.
done it too!
Shing has done it too.
Oh, goddamn.
Shing's coming. I'm super happy about that. We'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, Xbox teams. Everybody that says Xbox is trash are the people that haven't watched Xbox recently. I think that there's real quality games going on Xbox, and it's still a sideshow. I'm still going to be PC first.
Yep.
But the Xbox scene is worth watching.
So,
it definitely is.
does Omega and Envy stomp the open bracket?
No. Win? Possibly. Stomp? Absolutely not.
Word. I mean, they're probably gonna. It depends on how many people show up, of course, because it's an open bracket. So who knows? But like, I can see them stomping to the semis, depending on seeding or whatever.
Yeah.
I assume it's probably random seeding or like.
Well, as far as the open
weighted.
bracket is concerned, there's probably a stomp there, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've got the good players from Epsilon, you've got a handful, but the teams that are worth talking about are already qualified, and they're going to be facing the winner of that open bracket tournament. So,
yeah, totally.
As far as the open bracket, does Omega and Friends just destroy? Probably.
I think probably till the semis.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll agree
semis
with
they
that.
have some trouble. Maybe finals they have some trouble. But then when it comes to the actual, I still want to give it to them just because they know the game on such a deep level.
Exactly. And I mean, to be honest with you, so like knowing the game is so like the PC advantage just isn't there anymore because Xbox has been around for a year, half a year now.
And the meta is
Right?
also slightly different, right? Because it's like on PC, you're like, oh, they're going to do this. Well, let's play Circuit. On Xbox, you might not actually have a Circuit player. Right?
Yes,
Because there are
Circuit-
mechanical demands on certain characters that are just higher. They're just harder to play. So
And it's not even like shitting on Xbox players.
Yeah.
Like Deathbane using Circuit's zigzag and then 180 Cobra's Kiss, undoable.
Yeah.
It's like not doable.
yeah,
So-
it's exactly. So like mechanical demands on certain characters are different. Certain characters have different levels of play just sort of because of the input, because of the way you're controlling them. And that can mess with the checks and balances that are integral to Smite's meta a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think to an extent there is an Xbox, a PC advantage, and to an extent like it's an advantage, but you know you're like, oh, they're gonna pick this. Well, we just counter it with, oh shit, we can't play that. Right, like I can see that
Exactly.
happening.
Yeah, no, I mean it happens. It happens, and you saw that a little bit. I think with XGN, the Denial Squad that
Yeah.
played on Xbox, or yeah, when Denial switched over to Xbox, you saw strategies come out that were PC oriented that didn't work out.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. Some of their picks just weren't strong enough, and some of their decisions it just didn't work out the way when you're playing against like a team like Eager, who is sure you've got Air Cougar and like some other players that have switched, but more Xbox, if you will.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But bear in mind, all these teams that didn't qualify. So we've got XGN, they're going to open bracket. Elevate's going to open bracket. Elevate's a fair to decent team from Xbox. So, like you said,
I think
quarters,
Elevate was
semis.
like the favorite to get the second slot that
Yeah.
Shing and Friends ended up getting.
Yep. So quarters.
Their team
semis,
name is actually
it'll
Shing
get
and Friends,
interesting.
right?
I think officially it's Shing and Friends. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I am. Can I tell you how happy I am that Shing is making it to Worlds? By the way.
Yeah. You were happy about that a long time ago, and then it happened.
I love that kid. I really do. He puts a lot of work into the game, and it hasn't always shown up. It hasn't always like shown. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I spoke to him. And I spoke to him after UMG Atlanta when his team lost in the finals, and he was just so. I was like, talk to me about like why do you want to go? And I was like, money or blah blah blah. He's like, I don't give a shit about the prize. Like, I want to win. I've been involved with Smite. I just want to win, man. And I think that's awesome. I think he has the right attitude with it. And to see him going to Worlds on the Xbox crew, I hope he wins. But I'm just glad that he's there because we see all the same players in the pros from the PC scene, right? And their work is paid off, and they're there, and this, that, and the third. And Shing's just another player that deserves a shot, and nobody should give shit out. Fuck that. This is not it's not like charity, but he earned it, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that Shing's gone.
So I'm going to ask you a difficult question. Are you happy that Aduro is going to Worlds?
No.
Yeah, neither am I.
I still have.
You know what? Aduro might actually beat out Getfisher on most mentioned.
Aduro and Getfisher are the
two.
NA and EU equivalents of each other.
Yeah.
Like, even look alike. Do they really? I hope they do.
No, they don't. Their hair is completely different.
No, they sort of do.
Because Getfisher looks like a beetle after a dose of heroin.
And Aduro looks like an NSYNC or a Backstreet Boy after a dose of heroin.
I was going to say a linebacker, but with the opposite.
Oh, linebacker?
Wait. But with
We're talking Aduro, not Skeleton.
No.
Polar Bear
but
Mike.
with muscle shrinkers.
Yeah,
exactly. A linebacker who hasn't had like his protein shakes in like
no.
Yeah.
Aduro is like.
That's my point.
Aduro's like Shing size.
Exactly, he's a tiny linebacker. It's funny.
I don't get where the linebacker comes from.
Fuck you, Tom. I'm done with this. I'm breaking
Where
up.
does the linebacker come from?
He plays football.
Does he?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he does. That was his Twitter picture for like a year.
Playing football?
Yeah, it was just him in a football outfit with his parents or something.
All right, you know what happens? They do this a lot in the little league with Latin American kids. They forged his birth certificate so that the league thinks that Aduro is 15. And he just plays against 15-year-olds.
I believe that. That's
what Aduro does. Yeah. All right, now he is a Smurf 15-year-old linebacker.
So you're saying he played with 15-year-olds?
He still does.
And he did on Elevate. There you go. There you go.
That's the story of Elevate. That's why they recruited him.
Yeah.
That's why they recruited him.
Yeah, so I guess I want to briefly talk about Elevate at UMG, I believe it was.
Okay.
What the second qualifier, was that UMG?
UMG was Atlanta.
Okay. Yes, second qualifier, right. They just got Chapo back after a ban where he wasn't allowed to play for a little while, I believe.
So Chapo played at Columbus at MLG.
Yeah. And then did he not play at UMG?
Chapo was not there for UMG, no.
Right. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was the first one that he wasn't there for, I believe. Anyway, dude, so I think it's just super interesting to see how good Chapo has become on Xbox. And, like, I really want to see that team playing at full strength.
I agree.
Because I don't think we've actually seen it.
No. Chapo's definitely good at Xbox. He's definitely there. And, I spoke to him. I spoke to him a little bit.
That sucks.
And I spoke to him. Well, see, that's the thing. I spoke to him after everybody was pretty lubricated, right? Like, I was working, so I had a couple of beers, but I was I was, like, totally fine. He had a couple of beers in him. And we were just talking, and I was like, look, you're a fuckboy. You can't call people. So basically, Chapo got suspended from Smite and competitive Smite for using a gay slur on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right?
About another pro player.
Yeah, to another pro player.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to fight you, blah, blah, blah. And you want to know, here's the thing. Chapo is, like, not a Chapo's not a nerd like us.
No, he's
Like,
not.
so Chapo doesn't know how to turn on his computer. Those are his words.
Yeah.
He Bro Chacho told him to download Smite, and he did. That's the story.
Yep.
And he didn't know how to download something.
Also, wait. Wasn't Bro Chacho, the Chach, as they call him, wasn't he playing for 2 weeks at MLG?
Yep.
Yeah.
But so Chapo goes to me. He goes, "Yo, I didn't know my Twitter was connected to my Smite." And I'm like, I mean, it's not connected, but I mean, you're the same person, dude.
He didn't know that, apparently.
He was like, but I'm on Twitter. And I was like, dog, he just didn't understand.
Yeah.
And I mean, in no way am I defending the words he used, but different cultures and worlds, those words are heavier or lighter, etc. And Miami-Dade, Hispanic community.
Yeah,
that
it's
word,
not.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yes,
it's not as hateful as it is to the rest of the fucking world, and that's got to change. But he didn't mean it in that sense, and blah blah blah. And he was like, "I'm glad they suspended me because I learned a little bit about my Twitter's connected to my."
You learned that, dude.
Yeah, and he was like, I got to clean up my mouth, but he was like, no, it was good. It was good that they suspended me because now I take it a little bit more seriously. And to his credit, when the teams were playing and stuff, he was looking hard and talking to his team. It was fun. It's really cool to see how dedicated those Xbox dudes are. Yeah. So Chapo, I was the number one hater of Chapo off of the no context gay slur online. And after speaking to him, he's a different guy.
Yeah, people come from different cultures and shit. That's just sort of life.
Yeah,
that's the weird, fucked up, magical thing about esports is everyone's from all over the place, and they all have different cultures.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
The difference between your stream and Wolfie's stream, for example.
Well, mine and Wolfie's stream honestly have a lot in common besides the N-word.
Exactly. There you go.
And to be completely honest.
But that's also because you're from the same area.
Exactly. We're our cultures are relatively the same. From he's a Puerto Rican dude from Brooklyn. I'm a racially ambiguous dude from Long Island, Queens, right? It's very, very similar.
Racially ambiguous, dude. You need that on a business card. That would be if you were an actor, an extra actor.
Dude, if I was
you could be in every movie.
Right? I mean, Aziz has this bit where he talks about there could only be one Indian dude in the show.
Yeah, there's no.
Well, I can fill that quota. Or if there's already an Indian dude, I can be the Italian guy.
Yeah.
It works out, right?
That's great. They'll never know.
So chat's been asking a lot about this dirty bubble bullshit.
Sure.
You're the numbers guy.
Yeah.
Let's break it down.
All right. You build full tank on stuff, and then you buy a pen item. And you get by with base damage. It works. Of course it works.
That's lame.
Yeah, I mean... Well, so it started on Thanatos, because Thanatos is where people actually are wait, this makes sense. Because it does, right? Thanatos,
that's
Jones Wrath.
Thanatos forever.
Exactly. Jones Wrath helps a little bit. Sure, it gets you from 40 pen to 50, which is the cap. That's fine. You don't need it. 40 is good enough. And then you get a Breastplate of Valor instead of the Jones Wrath. And you get a Titan's Bane, because Titan's Bane increases your damage, and Max CDR increases your damage, but Fizz Power does not do shit. Fizz Power on Thanatos, you get 2 abilities with 60% scaling and long cooldowns.
Exactly.
It's not your auto attacks kit.
I mean,
who gives a shit.
Back when I was the Thanatos master, right? When I was Mr. Thanatos. Shut the fuck up, Krett. Back when I was Mr. Thanatos, that was the build.
Yeah.
That was what I built.
Yeah.
I built CDR boots and then defense. Because, what are you going to do with your power, right? So I guess people have translated that to other gods.
Sure, it makes sense to an extent, right? I guess Nox, for example, right? Like, if you just have max CDR and you're just shitting out a cripple every 6 seconds, sure, whatever. But it's probably not going to last. It's something that I don't think is going to affect Worlds meta too much.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
going to
might
ask.
see
Do you expect teams to
Thanatos.
see that?
You might see
Yeah.
Thanatos. We ran it. It was good. We got a 5,000 gold lead from going into Fnatic's jungle and being like, give us your fucking lunch money. And they're like, okay, don't take the blue. It's fine.
Yeah, I
Right?
mean,
Like,
I
It's,
think
it's
like,
actually
I
a
think
thing.
I think it's viable on viable is such a shitty word. I like it on Thanatos.
Yeah, it's good on
Um,
Thanatos.
and I still like it on Thanatos, and I still like Thanatos, but outside of that character.
Yeah, I mean, so Matt Yankee, who made the Reddit post, which is largely a troll, but like, Hubwa, sure, makes sense on Hubwa. He's like super unsafe, and his base damages are super high. It's pretty much the same thing as Thanatos. Upwash, I can see it because he self-heals, and he's a jerk. And like, a lot of his damage comes from max CDR and never dying. But like, I don't think it's going to really affect the world's meta, and if it actually becomes a problem in casuals and like ranked that is like statistically demonstrable, right? Like we're like Scott Z is like, people who build 1,000,000 tank items are winning all their ranked games. Then like it's pretty simple to fix.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, you buff
Is
you buff chin size like slightly.
Yes.
Yeah, like there you go.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're dealing with it, honestly, like even without a chin size buff,
Yeah,
it's
you can
like-
still build chin size. It's still good.
yeah, that's how you deal with it. I mean, like it's so funny how quickly the community is like, or quick. It's so funny how black and white the community is on things like this, where like chin size is bad. Period. That is an
Yeah.
incorrect statement, right? Like,
Yeah, you know, it's chin size is worth. So every so often there's a statement like that that's true. Titan's Bane on Hunters is bad, period. Because the idea of Titan's Bane
Yeah.
is like, okay, I'm gonna crit tanks harder, but mathematically, Malice will do more damage all the way up until the actual cap. At which point, at literally 325 protections, they meet and they do the same damage. So you should never build Titan's Bane on Hunters. That's actually bad, period. Except for killing towers.
and that's hilarious because for a full season
Oh,
we
we
built
didn't
Titans
know.
Made of Hunters.
We didn't know. It made sense in
For
the
a
unicorn
full
build.
season.
Nobody
A
checked.
year.
Nobody looked.
Like they were just like, well, I mean, Zatman built it, so
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just turns out getting a third crit item was better.
Krett,
What's up?
do you have any insight into Zatman's plans for season 3?
He owns the spot. He'll probably make a team.
Do you think he's gonna play?
Yeah.
Good.
I do think that he is in the group of ADC players that I could see changing roles going into season 3.
Jungle. That's it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's the loud shot call, like, recognized as a shot caller, mechanically adept hunters, which is Zapman and Reels. And, probably a few others. They're not coming to mind right now. I could see them going to jungle.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I am just like broadcaster, unbiased, and
Yeah.
and truly am.
And before you go to your thought, I also want to mention that like we have no idea. I have no idea what the season 3 meta is going to be like,
Very
and
true.
it might shift the weight of the match. Because right now, the weight of the match is predominantly on the jungle player, right? Like,
Yes.
it is their responsibility to do the most shit. It's probably like 40 to 45% of the game rests on their shoulders. That might be different. We don't know.
I will tell you that there are big changes for season 3. I can't tell you what they are.
Big
I've seen them.
changes.
I mean,
Whoa.
when I say big changes, look. When I say big changes for your season 3, I don't mean like tank items are getting nerfed. I don't mean there's like, we're talking like some things that as a pillar of Smite will be changed.
Sweet. I'm
which,
down.
Which I personally think is really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
double the gold spooling. Let's go.
That's one of the cool things about esports. Fuck you and your double gold spooling. Like,
dude, that would mess up so much shit. It would be great.
There's, as long as the core remains the same game, as long as the game is like 3 lanes, 2 big objectives, and a Titan, right?
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yo, I bet that Hyris is secretly using Match of the Day for testing stuff. Like,
all right, season 3, everybody plays Ares at 40% cooldown. That's actually the change, okay?
I knew it. Dude, what if season 3 everyone just starts with 40% cooldown? Like, that would be great. That would be great. It's like, here's our season 3 patch. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, you want to take your dirty bubble? Fuck you. You all have CDR.
Wait. You wanted the chaos side not to get to mid 3 seconds faster? Nope, they still do. They just have 40% CDR when they do it. Like, fuck you guys. That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be so good. That would be awesome.
And then the other thing that's super cool is, like, I think there are also these small changes that when you make them, you don't really know to what extent they're going to affect the game. Like, removing pen from physical boots affected in the game in, like, drastic ways.
Oh, yeah.
And then also adding CDR to boots. You remember, like, that 2 weeks? That was crazy for physicals.
And I mean, like, it seemed so silly, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like, all right, we'll take pen off the boots so that hunters, their power curve comes a little bit later, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's all. See,
and then everything was different.
Everything changed.
The consequences were never the same.
Consequences will never be the same.
And then they had to put them back on mage boots.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it on mage boots.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It really, I think it was okay on assassin boots too. It was hunters that's the problem.
Yep. Hunters are always the fucking problem. I will say, so this is just my personal, like, want.
Mm-hmm.
Blue buff better not be ranged.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. The purple buff can be ranged. The hunters can have a ranged buff. That's fine. Give it to them. Give them little bows and arrows, dude.
Ranged buff is not good.
I hate it so much, but I don't know. I think it'll be exciting. Yeah, my biggest, like, I've got a fucking shopping list of shit I'd love to see. You know, like, healing nerfs. Not, like, nerf hell, but, like, more nuanced, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, nerf the ecosystem of healing so healers are not so extremely broken in the unplayable or godlike sort of way. But I think my biggest thing is just the hunter power curve becoming less exponential. Like, your 6th item is a 40% damage boost.
See, like, I'm actually kind of... I don't know if I dislike that so much, honestly.
I think the problem is that it becomes weird when you realize that, like, it stacks up so heavily, and it comes in such large chunks. Because you're not increasing in power constantly. It's not a process. It's bursts. It spikes when you finish items.
Which I kind of like.
Yes.
Honestly. I kind of like Hunter being the class of, like, all right, you know, like, they're garbage. Mm-hmm. They're good. They're good. They're overpowered and they win the game.
Sure.
I kind of like that, but I do think that last part should be more prohibitive. Like, their 6th item should be 3,000 gold, right?
It is.
Actually, it is. Their 6th item should be like 5,000 gold, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
sort
think
of just a time bomb.
I think part of it, just going into, like, talking about design, right? I think part of it is that, like, the Smite Hunter, the classic Smite Hunter is on her. And on her as a character is very much not that. On her as a character made perfect sense in the Heartseeker meta. That's sort of how hunters have been designed, and Apollo follows suit, and to an extent some other characters that work fine with the heavy damage thing follow suit. They're too versatile. They're not cannons like Artemis is, or like AMC is. And I think it's okay if everyone follows the trend of AMC and has that curve, but it becomes weird when you also have on her on the same curve, and you're like, this character that is sort of supposed to wreck early game kind of doesn't, but kind of does relative to the rest of his class. It's a little strange.
Yeah, it's definitely a little strange. It's
I also
weird.
just want to see chin size like be a thing again, please.
I like chin size being a niche item for a specific
Yeah,
role.
yeah. That's what I mean, though, right? Like, I want it to be the anti-tank thing.
Yeah, I never liked the idea of chin size as an item that a hunter buys because they attack a lot.
Yeah.
I like the idea of chin size as an item because they have 3 guardians.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Like, yeah, I think that's fun. But so World's interesting. Next week we'll be having an episode, right? Are we?
Yeah,
Are you here?
I think
Are you
that's the
still in
29th. Like, I think we're good. Are you good?
29th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'm good. Are you here? Are you there?
I'm here. I'm good. Yeah.
You're in Florida or wherever?
Yep. So I think we're doing an episode next week. We're probably gonna say it's an award show and then not do a damn thing. That sounds like something we would do.
Maybe. I don't know. I hopefully have a little bit more of a voice
Yeah.
by then.
Yeah.
I'm
So you can
kinda
yell
straining,
about Jean-Qui a little bit.
Yeah.
But before we go, I just want to take some time to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and spend time with your family and friends and loved ones and have a really wonderful time. This has been our Christmas spectacular. Well, our non-denominational
festive I am.
Christmas, our international non-denominational Christmas is an American holiday, and even if you're not American, you can still celebrate it spectacular.
Winter Wonderland celebration.
I don't know, buy some people gifts or some shit. That's our show. We'll see you next week.
Be nice. Happy holidays. Peace.